Welcome back to the Truth Over Comfort show. We've got a nice, easy, simple video today. Don't need too many expertise in the subject. It's just gonna be a quick, mind-blowing sort of thing if you hadn't heard about it. So, 2021 November. Boris Johnson's sister, Rachael Johnson, writes an article, is not quoted in, writes an article in the Spectator, a British newspaper magazine, about how she feels pity for someone. Who might that be? You know, work is not paid enough, businesses that went out during lockdown. No. She feels pity for Ghislaine Maxwell. Oh, Ghislaine Maxwell. And not only does she write why would you write that? It's not a good thing to be talking about and having pity for someone on trial for sex trafficking. And even if they're not charged, someone who was the right-hand woman of Jeffery Epstein, who was charged with sex trafficking and was arrested twice and was a paedophile and killed himself. And you decide to say you have pity for this woman. And not only that, you say you knew her and Boris Johnson also knew her. So your brother's government, Boris, got a lot of what? He's got a lot of pressure and outrage against him. He's down in the dumps. And you're like, we need, all those photos with people like Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Bill Clinton, Prince Andrew, Harvey Weinstein, all the rest. You know how there's no Johnsons? Well, let's change that. Let's write an article admitting we knew her, which causes alarm bells of, well, if you knew her, did the relationship ever carry on? Did you ever bump into each other? She was a British socialite, much like probably yourselves, pretty posh establishment people. And when I show you Boris Johnson's name, you'll understand what I mean, not just by his posh voice. Did you ever bump into each other? No, that, weird questions about blackmailing politicians, royalty. Yeah, what was you involved in that? And you're like, just drop you and your brother's name in it. It's like a rap song where they admit all their crimes in it. Like, it's pretty fucking retarded to say that. And not only that, could you pick like worse people to pity about? Sex traffickers who, you want to pity someone, pity the victims of these people who were trafficked, raped. Even I don't care if they're 18 years old and they're of age, or in Britain 16. You're hanging around people, not just like, oh, you got banged by your boss and you're, like in the intern. I'm not sort of Bill Clinton thing. Like, you're in these rings of people so powerful behind the scenes, and that's you're getting taken advantage of. Especially, you've been trafficked and you have vulnerabilities who they target. If you watch the Netflix documentary series, like all the victims, they have vulnerabilities. Pedophiles and stuff target these people because they know they've probably already been abused, and there's not that many people who are looking out for them. And instead of pitying those people, you could have written, I knew Ghislaine Maxwell in Oxford. I can't believe what she grew out to be, and her friend Jeffrey Epstein. I have complete pity for their victims. No. I have pity for poor old Ghislaine being in that confinement all those times. That's what the people want to hear. It's not a working class issue. It's not, rich or poor. It's just on a human level. Who feels pity for a sex trafficker? It doesn't even matter if she hasn't been charged yet. Like, she's associated with Epstein for like years. It doesn't matter. It's not a person you want to feel pity for. It's just is clown world. The fact that Spectator even allowed her to write that is kind of strange. I'll show you the article. The first half of the article, it's just nonsense. Doesn't make any sense. I don't know. It has nothing to do with it. And then she starts talking about Ghislaine Maxwell. The fact she just drops her brother in it, it's kind of weird. I don't know if she's just in some bubble. Maybe the bubble, like the other day, someone shared a video on Twitter of her on her LBC show, a radio show in Britain, where she's talking to her dad about her brother's government. Like, what world are we in where someone interviews their dad about their brother? It's like some family meeting about how her brother's government doing, and he does actually say, for I think it's about water companies, that the government's not doing enough. I haven't seen the full thing, so I don't know if it was like a limited hangout sort of thing. It's just bizarre. So I'll get to this article now. So as you can see, Rachael Johnson, you can look her up to verify like it's Boris Johnson's sister. This was actually, kind of spoken about in the mainstream media, because I think even they're like, oh, Rachael Johnson, Boris Johnson's sister, writes an article about feeling pity, and it's the title, so that she's not even like snuck it in there at the bottom where she's like, I kind of feel, pity for my fellow socialite. She's just like, I'm just gonna title it. So it's hard not to pity Ghislaine Maxwell. We met briefly at Oxford, 17th of November, 2021. Great. That's a cute photo, cute couple. So, as I said, the first half is nonsense. Like, I don't. If someone watches this video or in the future, please explain. Like, is there context? She's like, I'll just read you the first paragraph, and then we go to the bit about. This is a really short article. This week I'm having puppies. First litter. The Johnsons were not doggy, as we always moved around too much. My late mother claims it was 32 times in 17 years. Yeah, I wonder how many times the traffic girls moved around. Yeah, forgot about that. We moved a lot. Oh, poor you. Couldn't get a dog. Well, now you can. Once you have a dog, life seems boring without. I have a theory that children give couples something to talk about, and when they go, only a dog can fill the conversational void. The mother, or damn, is Ziggy, who entered our lives 1 week before lockdown, your brother, after I had a sudden strong urge to get a dog. On the 13th of March last year, I drove to a farm in Somerset, blah, 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 like talking about a dog. And then she talks about, since my beloved mother died, since her beloved Jeffery Epstein died. And then she's talking about this. Honestly, I really understand it. And then bang. It's hard not to feel a bat squeak of pity for Ghislaine Maxwell. 500 days and counting in solitary confinement. I intersected briefly with her at Oxford. Yeah, great brag. Dinner party. Did you know I used to know Ghislaine Maxwell when I had my times with Oxford through my brother, the Prime Minister Boris Johnson? Oh, when are you going to get around? Why didn't we meet her? What? I bet she threw great parties. We could have met Prince Andrew, Bill Clinton. Oh, what a party. As a fresher, I wandered into Balliol JCR one day in search of its subsidized breakfast granola and Nescafe offering, and found a shiny Glamazon with a naughty eyes, holding court astride a table. A high-heeled boot rested on my brother Boris's thigh. Not even just my brother, but all the people who don't know. Like, I wouldn't have known that she was the brother until this came out and I looked it up. She's like, nah, gonna name check him. Don't worry. She gave me a pitying glance. I did manage to snag an invite to her party in Headington Hill Hall. Even though I wasn't in the same college as her and Boris, I have a memory of her father, Bob. Oh, Robert Maxwell. Yeah, there was no scandals around him. Nah. Coming out in a toweling robe and telling us all to go home. I'm sure Fairweather's friends would not reveal they went to Ghislaine Maxwell's party, as Barbara Amell's brilliant memoirs, Friends and Enemies, prove you only know who your real chums are when you're in the gutter. First of all, is she trying to do an English literature sort of like a novel book here? Like, the teacher comes in. So today we have a picture of Boris Johnson and Ghislaine Maxwell where they're here on this die. Write something creative. And then she starts talking about, I was looking for my breakfast granola, Nescafe. She gave me a pitying glance, like, what? And then not only is she writing, I don't know, she like the first half, and this is her audition or draft or pilot to get some novel, but is this last bit where she says, Barbara Emma's brilliant memoirs, Friends and Enemies, proves you only know who your real chums are when you're in the gutter. You mean like Ghislaine Maxwell being in the gutter of being in solitary confinement for 500 days for being a sex trafficker, and to be a real friend or real chum, you have to defend your friend by writing an article in the Spectator. Like, so her friend's in the gutter. Yeah, I know she's a sex trafficker, but I'm her real chum. So, and she's in the gutter, so I've got to be there for her. Like, and then P.S. Everyone wants to know if we're going to keep one, if we're going to sell them. Well, Ziggy the dog has cost me $8,000 for various reasons so far. All I can say is take a number ticket, having arranged a second mortgage, and get in line. Yeah, I could have given that $8,000 to the victims. Nah, I got a nice dog, Ziggy, because I was gonna be bored when my brother put us in lockdown, and that's why we probably bought it just before, because he probably gave us the heads up, didn't he? Rachael Johnson got a gig on LBC on Sunday 7 p.m. Make sure you check in. Can't get enough of this gal. See what other strange stuff she says. Maybe I should be following her a bit closely. So, one paragraph is about Ghislaine Maxwell. Back to the dog, and then the first half, like, oh, like I don't understand why the title was about Ghislaine Maxwell and then the rest isn't. Really strange. So, just to show you how just posh this family is, Boris Johnson, who's the guy you can have a pint with down the pub. Oh, Boris, sure, he's got a decent personality for a politician. Looks like he could actually be a bit of fun. Whether you agree with his policies and all that, I'm not a fan of that at all, or the lockdowns. But yeah, that's why people like him, and he gets away with it because he's Boris. Dances with that big black woman, all that stuff. His name is Alexander Boris the Feffel Johnson. The Feffel. So, French. It's a pretty posh name, isn't it? It doesn't sound like he's just finished a shift in, in the mines or the sewers, or he's just, finished his plumbing job. Or Boris the plumber. Sounds like it'd be real. But they're like, yeah, the plumber's coming around. Oh, what's his name? Alexander Boris de Feffel Johnson. Can't just be like, oh, clearly they obviously you hear his dad, you hear them, obviously quite a posh, still sort of a establishment named family. He's from America, but I don't know what's going on. If she's like trying to just do her brother dirty, it's all very strange. So this is a Guardian article, just to be clear. She is obviously actually sentenced. And here are the charges. In addition, so again, Maxwell, former British socialite. Oh, maybe that's what she has sympathy for. Maybe they did meet again. I don't know. Why would you feel pity for someone you met once at Oxford and then some party? What? And if her boot, high heels or whatever it was, sorry, is on Boris Johnson's leg, I'm sure they had, a bit of a close relationship. I don't mean sexual. I just mean you don't really do that to a random guy. So thanks for telling us that Boris and her were kind of friendly back in the day. And did they just, drop that friendship? She's raised some questions here, so someone probably should follow up on this. In addition to sex trafficking, Maxwell was convicted of conspiracy to entice individuals under the age of 17 to travel in interstate commerce with intent to engage in illegal sexual activity, conspiracy to transport individuals under the age of 17 to travel in interstate commerce with intent to engage in illegal sexual activity, transportation of individual under the age of 17 with intent to engage in illegal sexual activity, and conspiracy to commit sex trafficking of individuals under the age of 18. Anytime you hear the word conspiracy theorist, remember it's a legitimate thing in law. They conspired, two or more people conspired to sex trafficking. There are conspiracies. It doesn't, it's all wacky stuff. Like if you was in the court, you'd hear the term every week, every day, conspiracy to commit murder. In this case, one of the worst things you could conspire to do is sex traffic. I'm getting sick of only hearing Bill Clinton and Prince Andrew. And Bill Gates got caught up in it, and I want to do a video of him getting questioned about it because he gives just a weird in this article response. To be honest, they're both weird, creepy things to do. But I'm sick of just hearing Jeffrey Epstein, friends with Bill Clinton, Prince Andrew. Who else? It wasn't just them two, was it? Who was they sex trafficking for? This article, in fact, you can write an article in the mainstream press pitying a sex trafficker, or at minimum, at that time, just really, really, really good friends, and ex in a relationship with a sex trafficker who killed himself, who was a paedophile. The fact that the Ghislaine Maxwell trial, we get drawings, and Johnny Depp and the Amber thing is like all over Instagram, all in my feed, everywhere I go, YouTube, recommended. It's like some celebrity entertainment event broadcasted. That just sums up the priority, isn't it? Johnny Depp nonsense trial. Like, it doesn't matter. It's just, if it was any normal person, it wouldn't be interesting. But it's Johnny Depp, so I get. There might be some interest. Fine. Just I'm sure there's some interest about the Ryan Giggs thing going on here. Sure, follow it. Do we need it? Screen every, like, I'm not like, it was everywhere on my feed every day. They were loving it. Ghislaine Maxwell. Drawings. Yeah, that's great. I love this, like, nice little drawing here. That's normal. That's normal. But anyway, I'll leave it there. I mean, send the article to your mum. Like, any of your family. Like, do you know Boris Johnson's sister wrote an article about Pity and Ghislaine Maxwell? No? Creepy? Yeah, weird. Really weird. She kind of put her brother in it. Thanks for giving us that. I mean, that's the great thing about the article. Maybe someone in 5 years, 10 years discovers, hey, Boris Johnson did have a relationship, associated with people who were clearly doing some sort of blackmail operation. There's a lot of weird stuff. There's so many details. I'd love, at one point, I'm gonna have to read as many books on it I can, ordered the Whitney Webb one, articles, and then properly dissect it, because there's just a spider web of information around it, just everything about it. So for now, I can do a little video on this, because me and no one needs to know the whole depth of it, if we ever obviously get that, but more depth of it. But I'll leave it there. I don't want to keep going over and over and over. But that's Clown World for you. And thanks for tuning in to the Truth or Comfort Show.